Welcome, everyone, to the second annual Daytona Harley-Davidson Offshore Grand Prix, coming to you from beautiful Daytona Beach, Florida. I am Vince Lipari on behalf of Jeff Girardi and the rest of the Freeze Frame video production crew. This is the first APBA race of the season and the first stop on the Pro Series Tour. It includes a DIS infield boat show and toy box, which showcases an impressive line of high-performance toys, as well as an exciting APBA drag boat race and vintage boat exhibition. We have nearly 80 boats in all in this event. This is a three-race event, and today will be race number one. In this race number one, we've got Factory 1. About 14 boats in all entered in this first race. As we said, we've got Factory 1. Also, we have Performance 1, Performance 2, P3, and P5, and one PX boat as well. Now, in race 2, which will be on Sunday morning, it's Factory 2, Super V Light, and Super V Light Canopy. And in race number 3, we've got the Catamarans. That will be Sunday afternoon. In the final race, race number 3, we've got the Super Cat Light inboard as well as outboard. As we said, 3 races in all. Now, the competitors for this first race include, first off, in Outlaw A, Sherwin-Williams and Mountain Dew. In Outlaw V, Rindle Powerboats, Powerboat Magazine, Realize Gain. That's in Outlaw V. In Factory 1, it's Typhoon Racing, My Happy Place, Velocity VR1, Mutual Fun, Chicks Beach Offshore, Patriot Offshore Racing, Team BRE, Activator, SuperboatUSA.com, Offshore Addiction, Flash Wave, and H2O Motorsports. That's in Factory 1. In P1, it's How Sweet It Is and Out for Justice. In P2, BigOaksOffshore.com. In Performance 3, PowerboatTours.com and Team Velocity. In P4, it's I'm Deranged, Team Warlock, Just Pray, The Bat Boat, and Christie's Photographics. In P5, Wild Rose Sensation and Carib's Team Blythe. And in PX class is Bacardi Silver, and there is Bacardi Silver. By the way, Bacardi Silver is a premium flavored malt beverage produced by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated. By the way, Bacardi Silver holds the world kilo record in its class at 188.858 miles per hour. Now, as we said, this is the first APBA race of the season. We had a great season last year, and of course, due in great part to the APBA officials, and they include Mr. Michael Allweiss. He's the CEO. President and COO Martin Sanborn. We also have Executive Administrator Lynn Eason. Carrie Rasmussen, Operations Director. Jim Poplin, Safety Director. Chief Inspector Paul LeBrew. Mike Tomlinson, Chief Referee. D. Kimes, Chief Scorer. And Director of Race Communications, Jim Felton. And the Homologation Director is Drew Korn. Now, of course, lots and lots of sponsors for the APBA Pro Series 2002, and some of them include American Express, Vortec Engines, World Champion Cigarette Race Team, Baja Racing, Sunoco Racing Fuels, Mercury Racing, Formula Racing, High Tech Performance Trailers, Snap-on, Volvo Penta, Velocity Powerboats, BioClean, Tommy Bahama, Sterling Performance, Speed Channel, and of course Freeze Frame Video Productions. Now, speaking of Freeze Frame, we'd like to say that Freeze Frame Video Productions is adding the DVD to its format for this 2002 racing season. All present and future races will be on DVD. All past races will be available on DVD. Now, Freeze Frame Video has some 22 onboard cameras for you in this event. In today's race, 9 onboard cameras, and they include 2 cameras on board Bacardi Silver, also a camera on board Powerboat Magazine, 1 on Big Oaks Offshore, Chicks Beach Offshore, Addicted Motorsports, Patriot, Typhoon, and How Sweet It Is. 9 onboard cameras in all for race number 1. All right, this is the opening APBA race of the season right here in Daytona Beach, Florida. And the rest of the schedule looks like this. After Daytona, we will have a race in Marathon, Florida. Then in June, Cape Cod, Massachusetts. In July, Savannah, Georgia. Later in July, July 26th, Cleveland, Ohio. And on August 16th, it will be in Corpus Christi, Texas. And finally, on September 20th, in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Of course, Freeze Frame Video is proud to cover the APBA 2002 racing season. Of course, we're proud to be here in Daytona today. A great event in store for you this weekend. And there you can see How Sweet It Is being lowered down. Beautiful weather here in Daytona Beach. Main sponsor for this event, the Daytona Harley-Davidson, here at this second annual Offshore Grand Prix in Daytona. Looking around the dry pit area, it's a beautiful day. All right, they're the Freeze Frame Video Kids on the move. Special thanks to Eve Brinker and Jimmy Fisher, who'll be helping out this year. Freeze Frame Video Productions. Very shortly, we will be airborne to bring you the second annual Daytona Harley-Davidson Offshore Grand Prix. All right, as you can see now, we are airborne over Daytona Beach, getting ready for this race. There's the orange smoke signaling that we are just moments away from the start. Race number one, which will consist of Factory 1. We've got some 14 competitors in all. Also, competitors include classes P1, 2, P3, P5, and 1PX boat. Boats now beginning to spread out, lining up. There's Big Oaks Offshore on the outside, Bacardi Silver there on the inside. And PowerboatTours.com as the lineup begins to fill up. Powerboat Tours, Bacardi, and Big Oaks. And of course the pace boat on the far outside in the lead right now. And there's PowerboatTours.com, and How Sweet It Is now coming into the picture. How Sweet It Is, Powerboat Tours, Bacardi Silver, and Big Oaks Offshore on the outside, just waiting for the green now. Just moments away. How Sweet It Is. The water is a lot calmer this year than last year. Boats spreading out and waiting for the green. And we've got a green flag now here in the second annual Daytona Harley-Davidson Offshore Grand Prix in Daytona Beach. And there's Bacardi Silver there on the outside, just being shot out of a cannon, going to the immediate lead in the early moments of this race. It's Bacardi Silver. Let's go on board Big Oaks Offshore.
Tell me when. Not yet. Let's go. 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 Left a little bit. You got a red marker right there on the left. See it? Where? Straight ahead now. See your marker? Yep, I see it. Don't cut it so hard. You gotta go left. 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 All of the feet. I see it.
John Giovanetti and Robert Garcia on board, driver and navigator. John also the throttle man. Back to a helicopter shot in there. You see once again Bacardi Silver breaking to the lead right at the green. Bacardi Silver shot out of a cannon. Bacardi Silver, 36-foot skater, Sterling powered 2, 1,300 horsepower inboards. David Scott, driver. John Tomlinson is the throttle man. By the way, Bacardi Silver holds the world kilo record after 2 passes at 188.5 miles per hour. Has the fastest speed record at 190.045 miles per hour. Bacardi Silver. It is also your Lake Ozark shootout record holder at 165 miles per hour and your 2001 APBA National and World Champion. Primary sponsor, Bacardi Silver, a premium flavored malt beverage produced by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated. Matt Patterson, the crew chief. Other crew members include Steve Wallace, Lucky Bodenbach, Mike Powell, Wayne Mount, and Mark Thompson. Boat is maintained by Advanced Marine in Lake Ozark, Missouri. TNT Custom Marine doing the rigging on this boat. Paint job by Guardado Marine in North Miami Beach, Florida. Nice throttling there by Mr. John Tomlinson on board Bacardi Silver. On board now. The rear shot on board Bacardi Silver. Let's listen in. This is at the green. Bacardi Silver is a premium flavored malt beverage produced by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated. There's our helicopter. Russell Kilpatrick, our helicopter pilot, doing a fine job. On board Bacardi Silver. Nice driving there by David Scott. John Tomlinson on throttle. All right, there's How Sweet It Is coming up now. How Sweet It Is, a 36-foot eliminator. Brent Leach, the driver. John Peterson, the throttle man from California. Brent from Mira Loma. John from Goleta. Powered by two 500 horsepower imports, Merc Cruisers. This boat ran very well last year. How Sweet It Is, of course, a great name in racing. First in class right now. How sweet it is. Brent Leach and John Peterson on board. 36-foot Limited. Let's go on board. How sweet it is now. They're on board camera. Good ride on board. How sweet it is. Another competitor in its class out for justice in Performance 1. The graphics, the color design, and lettering on this boat once owned by the famous Carl Myers, the How Sweet It Is racing team. Carl Myers from the Empire State. Let's go with Chicks Beach Offshore F-141. It's a 29-foot fountain. Gino Marone is the driver. Mark Kowalski, the throttle man. Gino from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Mark from Medina, Ohio. Powered by one 500 horsepower Mercury inboard. Lots of competitors in Factory 1, some 12 competitors in all. Typhoon Racing, My Happy Place, Velocity VR1, Mutual Fun, Patriot Offshore Racing, Team VRE Activator, SuperBoatUSA.com, Onshore Addiction, Flashwave, and H2O Motorsports. Of course, we're watching Chicks Beach Offshore, highly competitive Factory 1 class. Little flying going on down here in Daytona Beach. Chicks Beach Offshore. Let's go on board. Gino Marone and Mark Kowalski. Water's not as bumpy as last year. Factory helicopter shot, Chicks Beach Offshore. All right, let's go now with Patriot Offshore Racing, F-177, the 29-foot fountain. Curtis Watkins, the driver. John Dames is the throttle man. Mercury powered, 500 horsepower inboard. Patriot Offshore Racing. Viper Marine, the owner of this fountain. Other crew members include Ronnie Skimmer. This boat took a second place in St. Cloud a couple of weeks ago. Special thanks to Competitive Edge for the maintenance on the boat. On board Patriot Offshore Racing. Patriot Racing. Curtis Watkins and John Dames. Here's one of the Rindle boats. Patriot goes by. Nice jump there. As we said, the waters are not as bumpy as last year, though. They're a little rock and rolling going on here in Daytona. It's SuperboatUSA.com, a 30-foot superboat. Mercruiser powered, 500 horsepower inboard. Jason Muller, the driver. Edgar Simmons is the throttle man. Special thanks to the Acapulco Hotel Resort for the accommodations here in Daytona Beach. Edgar Simmons, the owner of Superboat, would like to give a special thanks to the hotel manager, Sidney Sloan. Jay Muller, by the way, has a new Supercat coming out by the end of the year. Of course, this is a 30-foot superboat built on Long Island. Top of the pack, SuperboatUSA.com. Uh-oh, there's Patriot almost coming in contact with SuperboatUSA.com. A collision, near collision anyway, but they seem to have gotten out of it. Patriot almost coming in contact with SuperboatUSA.com. But everyone is okay. Patriot on the outside, SuperboatUSA.com on the inside to go around the turn. Let's go now with PropGoPropellers.com. F-190, 28-foot Warlock, Mercury-powered. Michael Milliken, the driver. Steve Wessinger, the throttle man. They're both from Waco, Texas. PropGoPropellers.com. On the inside, oh, there's Sherwin-Williams and Outlaw A. Coming a little close, but no problem. David Carruth, the owner of this 28-foot Warlock. David Carruth of BC Enterprises. PropGoPropellers.com. There on the inside, there you see Velocity VR1. VR1 and PropGo in battle here going on in Factory 1. There's VR1 on the outside, PropGo on the inside. As they go around the turn. PropGo, VR1 in the middle, and Realize Gain on the far outside. PropGoPropellers.com, VR1, and Realize Gain as they go into the turn. We're going to go with VR1 now, Velocity VR1. It's a 28-foot Velocity Mercury-powered. Bob Spitulski is the driver. Scott McCormick is the throttle man. They're both from Florida. Mercury powered. Sponsors include Rue and Zipper Personal Injury Attorneys. And special thanks to Carl and Ty from the Daytona Speed Park for their support. Now, Throttleman Scott McCormick has set 2 speed records in the past, and he's going to try for a 3rd this time around. By the way, the owner of this boat, Mr. Steve Staton. Other crew members include Jimmy Spitulski, John Spitulski, and Mike Martinstein. They're all from Orlando, Florida. Top of the pack in Factory 1, Velocity VR1. This boat took a first place in St. Cloud. There's Activator, F11 Activator. VJ Mars, the driver. Mark Schnepp is the throttle man. 26-foot Activator. It's Mercury powered, 500 horsepower inboard. Lots and lots of competitors in Factory 112 in all. Boats like Flashwave, Offshore Addiction, SuperboatUSA.com, Typhoon Racing, My Happy Place, Mutual Fun, Chicks Beach Offshore, Patriot Offshore, and a number of others. Highly competitive Factory 1. F-152 Offshore Addiction. It's a 28-foot Warlock. Driver is Ryan Beckley. Lance Hendrickson is the throttle man. Merc Cruiser powered, 500 horsepower inboard. It's Thomas Chesley, the owner of Offshore Addiction. Running slightly ahead of Offshore Addiction is Typhoon. Sponsors include Addictive Water Sports, ZEI, Mr. Maintenance, Midas from Rochester, New York, Kids Wish Network, South Bay Temps, and Accurate Auto Tint and Signs. Other crew members include Mike Gasparino, Pete Chesley, Kid Crew Thomas and Alicia Chesley, Zephyr Hills, Florida. There's Typhoon on the outside, Typhoon, and on the inside, Offshore Addiction. They are battling in Factory 1. Flashpoint slightly ahead of those two boats. They're Offshore Addiction and Typhoon on the outside. They are battling in Factory 1 here in Daytona Beach at the second annual Daytona Harley-Davidson Offshore Grand Prix. First APBA race of the season. And Freeze Frame Video Production is certainly proud to be a part of it. Ryan Beckley is the driver aboard Offshore Addiction. Lance Hendrickson, the throttle man. Ryan Beckley, of course, the owner-operator of Kinetic Animation for all your vinyl and graphics needs. Nice job there by Lance Hendrickson, throttle man. He's from Riverside, California. Ryan from Sarasota. Let's go on board.
Sorry, Bobby. Go wide. Good. Go wide. Big swell. Big swell. Talk to me. I got it. Next day. Talk to me. I got it. I got it. What do you need? I'm good.
All right, back to a helicopter shot. On board Offshore Addiction. Little rocking and rolling here in Daytona Beach. There's Typhoon, then Flash Wave up ahead. It's 1 and 2. Flash Wave and Typhoon in Factory 1. First and second place. Typhoon racing a 26-foot Kryptonite Mercury-powered Glenn Murray's the driver. Randy Schluss is the throttle man. Typhoon racing. Crew members include Rich Asman, Jimmy Welch, Glenn Helwig, Mark Aziz, Brett Greiner, Big Eddie, Jack and Diane, and Bob Meyer. Also special thanks to Kryptonite Powerboat for building a superior boat and being a factory sponsor. Laura Gifford for being the team's best fundraiser. And Maryland River Boat Club for all of its support. Typhoon Racing, your 2000 world champion. And a little bit of history on this boat. They've had 10 first-place finishes, and there were 2 times Northeast Divisional champs. Typhoon Racing, also special thanks to some family support, Chris and Donna Schluss, and Martha Shelby, Christian, Karen, Carol, and Paul Murray. In second place, Typhoon Racing, F1 2-9. All right, Typhoon on the outside, Flash Wave on the inside. Typhoon and Flash Wave battling there in Factory 1. Typhoon going off to the right, but we're going to go with Flash Wave on the inside, F-148. 29-foot Warlock, David Rem is the driver. Jim Scherer is the throttle man. Mercury-powered 500 horsepower, Flash Wave. Now, the offseason brought a new family to Flash Wave. New driver and world champion David Rem has lent his incredible talent to the team. David plans on a repeat of the 2001 World Championship in 2002. Jim Scherer, throttle man, sees his second place finish in the Worlds become number 1 this year. I'd like to see that. And David's father, Dwight Rem, is transporting the boat to 15 races this year, beginning with the Pro Series in Daytona. The Flash Wave team, sponsored by CalDiet.com. And Americash Home Loans will be running all Pro Series and Pacific Offshore Series races. There's Team Velocity on the outside, your leader in P3. Team Velocity. Flash Wave currently in second place. In Factory 1, always runs well. David Rem from Placentia, California. Jim Scherer from Whittier, California. A lot of races in store for Flash Wave Racing Team this year. Offshore Addiction now coming into the picture. Offshore Addiction around the turn. On the outside, Flash Wave. Typhoon is down. Typhoon out of the race. That means Flash Wave moves into first place and Offshore Addiction into second in Factory 1. Flash Wave now 1 and Offshore Addiction number 2. Your leader in P3 is Team Velocity. 39-foot Velocity with Bruce Baker, the driver, and Pepper Ernest, the throttle man, with Richard Bird, the navigator. Other crew members include Devery Ernest and Shelby Ernest. This boat also took a checkered flag in St. Cloud. Racing team would like to give a special thanks to all the folks at Express Engines and Marine for the race rigging, engine work, and maintenance program for the boat. Also thanks to Steve Stepp and Velocity Powerboats for their continued friendship and support for 10 fun years. Without Steve's and Velocity support, our racing program over the years, A-Class and B-Class and Factory 2 and Outlaw Performance would have never been possible. Also thanks to the awesome kids crew, Devery and Shelby Ernest and Stephen and Kaylee Kildall. Team Velocity, your leader in P3. There's Wild Rose on the outside. Team Velocity on the inside. Powerboattours.com, Pete 396. It's a 38-foot cigarette. Mercury powered. Brian Hollis is the driver. Louise Whitmore is the throttle person, and Greg Sanders the navigator. Powerboattours.com. Sponsors include TAL Marine in Lake Lanier, Georgia dealer for Formula, Four Winds, Boston Whaler, and Cigarette Offshore Powerboats. Also, Big Dog Demolition, Motormat.com, Tucker Welding in Atlanta, Georgia, 96 Rock in Atlanta, the Atlanta Falcons, Boat Masters, Fiberglass and Gel Coat Repair on Lake Lanier, and Hollis Transport in Gainesville, Georgia. Crew chief is Greg Sanders. Of course, he's also the navigator on this boat. Louise Whitmore was the 2001 Formula Rookie of the Year. Of course, Brian, driver Brian Hollis, he's a veteran racer. Brian Hollis, two-time national champion. Let's look on board there. You see all three of them. Brian Hollis, Louise Whitmore, and Greg Sanders. Other competitors in Performance 3 include Team Velocity. Currently, Powerboattours.com in second place. There's PropcoPropeller.com moving up there, top of the pack as well. PropcoPropeller.com. Propco moving up. And right in front of Propco, we've got Carrabba's Team Flight. Carrabba's Team Flight, a 28-foot Pantera. Todd Blythe is the driver, and throttle man Robert Gahagan is the navigator. Nice jump there. Everything is okay, though. Not a problem. Mercury powered, 500 horsepower inboard. 28-foot Pantera. Now Todd is from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Bob is from Toms River, New Jersey. Other competitors in P5 include Wild Rose Sensation. You're watching Carrabba's Team Black. Nice throttling job there. On the inside there, coming up, Offshore Addiction. On the outside, Carrabba's. Okay, we're going to go now with Team BRE. Team BRE is a 25-foot Warlock. Angelo Buffamani is the driver. Tony Buffamani, the throttle man. Mercury powered. Angelo from Elmo, New York. Tony from Sternwood, Illinois. Nice throttling there by Tony Buffamani. A lot of rocking and rolling there. Big jump, but they were able to handle it with no problem. Little choppy out here off the waters of off the beach of Daytona Beach. Second annual Daytona Harley-Davidson Offshore Grand Prix. Freeze frame video, certainly proud to be a part of this event. And we'll be at all of the events, APBA, in this 2002 racing season. Next one is in Marathon, Florida. There's Patriot and VR1 still battling in Factory 1. Patriot on the outside, VR1 on the inside. There's a turnboat called Hideout. Let's go on board now. Powerboat Magazine. 24-foot Rhino. Brett Becker is the driver. Craig Cleaver is the throttle man. Now, Brett is the editor of Powerboat Magazine. In his first offshore race, Craig is Western sales manager who has raced offshore many times. Now, this is for a future story in Powerboat's August issue. Nice driving there by Brett Becker. Rattleman Brett Cleveland. Brett is from California. And Craig is from Mission Viejo, California. There's Realized Gain, V1, a 24-foot Reindl Powerboat with Bobby Fisher, the driver. Chris Reindl, a throttleman. Bobby is from Houston, Texas. Chris from Cincinnati, Ohio. We welcome them to the wonderful world of offshore racing. Realized Gain. Their 2002 schedule looks like they're going to do the APBA Pro Series and 4 Series, and currently they're looking for a sponsor. They give a special thanks to all of the Reindl Powerboat crew members, including Jeff, Pete, Sarah, Dan, and Josh from H2OPerformance.com. As always, Bobby sends a special thanks to his beautiful wife, Kimberly, and his children, Madison and Austin. Now, as you might notice, the engine hatch is gone. We had heard over the radio earlier in the race that this boat had barrel rolls, and that's where it lost its engine hatch, but everyone is okay. Driver and throttleman doing fine. You can see. Realized Gain, V1. Chris Reindl is the owner. And this will be the last boat that we will be covering for you in race number 1 of 3 races here at the 2nd annual Daytona Harley-Davidson Offshore Grand Prix in Daytona Beach. Great racing today, but most of all, safe racing here in Daytona Beach as we wind up race number 1. All right, that is it. The end of race number 1 of 3 races here at this event, at this Offshore Grand Prix, beautiful Daytona Beach, as we await the results of the race number 1 here, the first APBA race of the season. Highly competitive racing here today. No mishaps, no problems, and no injuries. That's the most important thing. All right, in Factory 1, it was H2O Motorsports Propco in first place, followed by Flywave in second, Offshore Addiction in third, H2O Motorsports getting the checkered flag in Factory 1. In Performance 1, how sweet it is. Coming up on first place, Out for Justice in second. How sweet it is. The checkered flag in Performance 1. How sweet it is getting the checkered flag. There you see the checkered flag on the boat. All right, in Performance 2. Big Oaks Offshore, your winner in P2. In Performance 3, Team Velocity in first place, followed by PowerboatTours.com in second. Checkered flag for Team Velocity in P3. P5, Carrabba Team Blythe in first, followed by a Wild Rose. Checkered flag for Carrabba Team Blythe in P5. All right, those are your winners in race number 1. Race number 2 taking place Sunday morning. That'll be coming up soon. Great racing, highly competitive racing here in Daytona Beach, but most of all, safe racing. That's what we like to hear and see. Now, before we go, there are a few people that we would like to thank. First off, the entire staff of the APBA for orchestrating this fine event here in Daytona Beach, Florida. Also, Russell Kilpatrick, our helicopter pilot, Mr. Gary Johnson for his fine camera work, and our new addition to Freeze Frame Video Productions this year, Mr. Jimmy Fisher, helping us out with the onboard cameras. Also, by the way, a special thanks to Eve, and the new edition of Freeze Frame Video Productions now available not only on VHS, but also on DVD. This is Vince Lombardi wishing you a fond farewell from Daytona Beach, Florida. Hoping to see you soon at the next stop on the APBA Offshore Circuit, National Circuit. Next race, see ya in Marathon, Florida. Bye, everyone.